In today's video, I'm going to be sharing the things that I'm leaving behind in 2025 and the things that are coming with me into 2026. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your ins and outs for the end of the year? What are you taking with you into the new year? I would love to know. My first in, reading weird books. At least books that are weird to me. Really enjoyed this year discovering whole new swaths of literature that I had never heard of before via NYRB, and discovering this whole world of small presses. The entirety of their mission as a company is to shed light on books that you've never heard of before, reinvigorate forgotten classics. I just want to dive headfirst into this world and see what it has to offer, keep an open mind to weird books, keep an open mind to challenging books, try my hardest to just soak in this whole new world. But at the same time, my second in is I want to read more authors to completion. And this is probably something that I won't complete in 2026, but it's a long-term reading project that I want to keep in mind. There are several authors that I can think of that I really want to one day say I have read all of their books. And this is inspired in part by my friend Paul, who read all of Kim Stanley Robinson's books. And I feel like it's just so cool to really dive into an author's work, read every single thing that they've written, and really immerse yourself in their world. So some of the authors that I want to do this for are Lauren Groff, Octavia Butler, Charlotte Bronte. I might actually prioritize Charlotte Bronte because I really want to reread Jane Eyre. And then I've already read Villette, so there's only 2 or 3 books of hers that are left. So she might be an easy one to pick off in 2026, but I want to read all of her books. And yeah, there's probably more. I feel like Robin Hobb is another one. My third in, going on more walks before/after work. So I was thinking this the other day. I feel like I tend to be really rigid in when I do things, where I'm like, I only work out after work, or I only do X thing at X time, and I really want to be more flexible. It makes sense when we're in daylight savings mode to work out before work, and then once we leave daylight savings and go to like normal time, go on walks after work. Follow the sunlight. 2025, I really neglected going on walks. When I lived in Santa Ana, I would do this thing called Hobbit walks, where sometimes on the weekend I would just walk like 6 miles, and it would take me super long. I would go really slowly, but it was so fun to just walk around the city. I would literally go from downtown Santa Ana to downtown Orange, explore, go thrifting, have a little brunch, and then walk back home. I really want to do that again. Reading more debut authors/books that actually came out in that current year. This year I barely read any new releases, and the ones that I did were authors that I was already familiar with. I don't need to be like the most plugged in reader, but I would like to at least read one book by a debut author or a new book that comes out in 2026, just to have a little bit of a thumb on the pulse of what's going on in the world. Yeah, I think it's just nice as well to like support the industry, and I feel like the first initial release numbers do make a difference, so I want to be mindful of that. Reading more poetry and poetry journaling. This is something that I feel like I did really well in 2025, and I want to carry that forward, and if anything, do more of it. If you're curious about my journaling practices as it pertains to poetry, you can check out my video. I forget what it's titled. Something about poetry. Sinking funds. Pay now, buy later. I was thinking about this because I really want to buy like a nice fragrance in 2026, like just one. And I want that to be like my scent for the following year, 2027. Fragrances are really expensive. However, if I know that I want to do this now, I can just start putting away money in a sinking fund. You know, by the end of 2026, I'll have amassed enough money and saved up enough money that I can buy a really nice fragrance. In general, I just want to invert the buy now, pay later model. Yeah, there are things in life that I want to buy that will be a little bit of a splurge, and I can anticipate that and make it work for me instead of against me. And my last in for 2026, grayscale phone. I've seen other people do this, but it's basically where you put your phone into grayscale mode. It just makes your phone like super easy to put down, not having the colors and just having like really boring black and white images on your phone. Anything to try to get my screen time down as much as possible. These are my outs for 2026. Listening to singles/individual songs and not experiencing albums in their entirety. I'm so bad at this. Like my whole life, the way that I've listened to music has just been individual songs, and occasionally I will listen to full albums for artists that I really, really love, but I don't do it as a habit. A sort of addendum to this out is that I would like to start collecting physical CDs out in 2026, Substacks, with some caveats. The Substacks that I currently subscribe to and already love, obviously I'm going to continue enjoying getting those emails in my inbox. I feel like I spent a little bit of time on the Substack app, like looking at the posts and like trying to discover new people to follow. And I just feel like it's another time sink where all the time I spent reading like random Substack articles that are just sort of like musings from some guy somewhere, I would have rather just spent that time reading actual books. There are people who I think have really, really great Substacks and have awesome things to say. I'm still gonna follow those people, and if there is like an author or a YouTuber or whatever who I follow elsewhere who's like, hey, I'm coming out with a Substack, I will follow them. But in terms of like actually going on the Substack app and like looking at the sort of feed and looking at that part of Substack, I am not interested. I only want to see the newsletters that come into my email inbox. I don't want to have anything to do with like the actual social media aspect of Substack. Number 3, feeling guilty about buying books. I mean, this one is like whatever. I feel guilty about everything I do, but yeah, I'm an adult and I can buy books, and if I fill up my bookshelf, I can buy another bookshelf, and it makes me happy to support books and publishing and authors. Maybe not publishers, but just the general industry of books. I want to support that with my money, and I guess I'm not going to feel guilty about it in 2026. Sourdough is out in 2026, y'all. I tried one loaf. I gave it the good old college try. I think I'm just going to buy sourdough. I can support bakers who devote their entire lives to making bread, and I don't need to be one of those people. Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It's so easy for me to stop at Dunkin' in the morning, but the coffee is aggressively mid, and I have a French press at home. I better use that thing, or so help me God. I think I'm gonna cancel my NYT subscription in 2026. There are a variety of reasons why someone might do this, but I think the straw that broke the camel's back for me when it comes to New York Times is the fact that they added this weird short form content UI to their app. Just don't like that they are prioritizing short form content as a newspaper in 2025. I think it's a really bad move. I guess I kind of get it, they're trying to innovate, trying to keep up with the times, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't like that. I have made short form content myself. I've done shorts, so it is slightly hypocritical of me to be criticizing New York Times for doing that. I just find myself not really opening the app anymore because it annoys me. The other things that I like about New York Times, like the Wordle and the cooking recipes, I don't cook that often, and when I do cook, I feel like it's really easy to find recipes just by Googling things, people's random blogs. Yes, you have to wade through advertisements and this and that, but much rather honestly just buy cookbooks, used or new, build a collection of cookbooks, than continue using the NYT cooking app at this point. We'll see how it goes in 2026. If I feel like I'm missing it, maybe I'll get it again in 2027, but I think for now, me and the NYT are on a break. In 2026, an out is audiobooks only. In the next year, I think I'm gonna avoid reading books as only audiobooks, and if I do listen to audiobooks, I want to at least do immersion reading with it. This is a very personal decision. I have no problem or issue with other people only reading audiobooks, but I've just noticed that I tend to enjoy books more when I either immersion read them or just read words without audiobook. And my final out: covers that look like they were drawn on Canva, like the cartoon corporate chuggy covers. I hate those. And also AI in cover art. This is probably the easiest out ever. I think everyone hates this except for publishers who get to save a few cents. Let's bring back a little bit of panache with our cover designs. Let's innovate a little bit here. That's it for my ins and outs. Again, let me know in the comments down below what yours are gonna be for the new year. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in tomorrow's video.